Any specialists to my right? Councilmember Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a verbal technical amendment to item 32. The motion incorrectly spelled Augustus Hawkins' name with a K on Hawkins. I'd also like to ask to be corrected to the proper spelling for the record. Additionally, out of an abundance of caution, I'd like to accuse myself from item 11 because it is unclear to me if and what developers are working on the project listed on this item. 11.
All right. Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Item 24, special for separate vote.
All right. Councilmember De Leon.
All right.
Good morning.
21, 22, 23.
Which name did you sign up under? Speaker, which name did you sign up under?
Jeanette Wayland. How are you, dude?
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please
All
begin with the
right.
items.
Thank you
Go
for
ahead.
asking my name. All of a sudden, you care about my name. 21. 爱过你，就当你是错的人。有些错，我们都要负责任。是否我爱了不该爱的人？其实我想要的并不过分。爱过你，至少我坦诚承认。有些错，我们不用去争论。也许我错过幸福的时分，这座城多了个伤心的人。22。我们爱的难舍难分，爱的奋不顾身，为何再见只是陌生人？夜来的无声，我的心好冷，那绝望比分手更伤人。我们爱的难舍难分，爱的奋不顾身，爱到最后同样不可能。你走的无痕，我的心好疼，该拿什么与眼泪抗衡？我们爱的难舍难分，爱的奋不顾身，为何再见只是陌生人？夜来的无声，我的心好冷，那绝望比分手更伤人。23。月儿明，风儿轻，可是你在敲打我的窗棂。听到这儿，你就别担心，其实我过得还可以。月儿明，风儿轻，你又可曾来过我的梦里？一定是你来时太小心，直到我睡得轻。For general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
General public comment. I'm here to talk about this lady because somehow she informed me that all of her family, all of her friends are killed by somehow. However, our LAPD are not doing much. Our city attorney and our council member are not doing much. I don't understand why that we allow a woman to continuously to be the victim of the violent murder. However, there's no city politician, mayor are doing much about it. I am in the United States, I have no support. And then this woman provided me with clothing. This woman provided me with food. So I am here to make sure that if there's anyone wants to hurt this woman, you got to get through me first. I am putting my badge on the line to protect this woman because I will not allow any woman to be bullied, to be raped, to be killed, to be attacked like that. I am here to support and protect this woman right here.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the
Harriet
items you'd
Elliott.
and which items would you like to speak to?
I'm only going to speak on public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go
I
ahead.
want to thank 3-inch Shrimp, and he has been accosted and also discriminated against, and I want someone to help him over here. I appreciate what he said, and it is actually very true. Nobody pays attention. At LA Valley College, their English chair, Holly Batty, concerned about Ellen Davis. Ellen Davis, I'm sure, died. There's a few others. I one time said that Stella Theodulu might have died. She didn't. She's helping me, but she doesn't remember too clearly about this woman. This woman is named Faith Windsor. And they, at CSUN, I graduated from CSUN, they will not help me say where she's at. She would be 88. She's 70, I'm 73, she's 88. They will not help me, okay? I need help.
Hello,
morning.
Good morning. My name is Laura Banuet, and a general comment.
General, okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name is Laura Banuet, and I am a member of Unite Here Local 11. I have been working at LAX in 2016, and I'm a single mom. I have worked very hard to raise my daughter. She relies on me to make living as a fast food attendant working for HMS host at LAX. The longer I lived in LA, the more expensive it has become. I've lived in the West Side for many, many years, but because of how expensive rent is, my daughter and I had to move farther and farther away from LAX. Now we live in Compton in a converted garage with no kitchen. Today, I make less than $25 per hour. People like me, who are the backbone of the airport, deserve to be able to afford to live near where we work. You have the power to make a difference for airport workers. Vote yes to raise the wage. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to?
Yes, Jahida Reyes and public comment.
Okay, you go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. Good morning. I just wanted to come here and talk about the living wage real quick. I know that this has been on the table for 2 years. I am a hotel worker at Hotel Figueroa, and living here in LA has been extremely difficult. Right now, I pay $3,100 for a 2-bedroom, and I have 2 kids, and it's been extremely hard to pay for everything they want and need with the living wage that we have now. So I'm asking you to please support us working class, us working people, the people who run the city, who make it turn, and vote yes next week. Thank you.
Thank you. And before the next speaker, Mr. Herman, your sign is in violation of our sign rule. I also noticed that there are people behind you. So the sign is actually blocking people behind you. So please either keep the sign folded so that it complies with our sign rule, or don't lift it up. Thank you. Sorry. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Javon Houston, general public comment.
Okay, and before you begin, just to be clear, Mr. Herman, that's your first and only formal warning. Sorry. Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
You talking to me?
No, you're fine. It was a gentleman behind you. So go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Hi, I'm Javon Houston. I'm an airport worker at LAX. I just want to get the city council members to vote yes on this living wage ordinance. It's important to me. Healthcare is very important to me. Recently, I was hospitalized for pneumonia 2 weeks ago, and if I didn't have the medical insurance that I have now, I would be out thousands of dollars. Next year, the cost will go up, so it will be thousands of dollars that I would be out of. I just want to take time, if any Senate council members walk into your workspace, raise your hand if you have a sign outside your door that said you're exposed to cancer-like materials, please. I'll wait, but I do. I'm exposed to that every day when I walk inside my building. my workspace. So please, when you amend this, you're mending lives that workers live every day. You're mending health care that workers need. Please vote yes on this.
Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Audit LA, all items, including public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, about the trees, please say yes. Council District 2 has been bugging for tree trimming for years. Thank you, Mr. McCosker, for joining Mr. Krikorian on that, so I'm going to campaign for you. But anyway, let's get back to the item, I think it's 23 or 22, about conflict of interest with the city attorney. Okay, are you guys cherry picking what ones are a conflict of interest? Because here's the biggest conflict of interest with the city attorney. The city attorney herself, Heidi, for the very first time, went and conducted a misdemeanor hearing, the first time hearing herself, which has never been done. And they are prosecuting somebody for just gently removing like this illegal tarp on a, on the right-of-way. But at the same time, the city, because it's the church, the cult of Scientology, now they have thorny rose bushes there.
So, Speaker,
this is the city, right, I'm
you're
telling
welcome
you.
to speak to this
It's
during general
comparison
public
and
comment.
contrasting why you're cherry picking.
Hold on, can you please pause our time really quick?
Caught my time. I am saying, because you are asking for a
Sorry,
conflict
this
of
is-
interest with the
hold
city
on just
attorney.
a second. So the woman who is shushing in the close to the
fine.
center, she's holding up a red and orange, it's a Bible with a red or an orange ribbon on it. This is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt the public speaker. So this is, hold on just a second. So this is, you need to speak to the item, which is a conflict waiver for outside counsel, right? So, but everything else that you want to say, that you're speaking to right now, you can speak to during general. But this is not about conflicts generally, it's about a conflict waiver specific to that outside counsel contract.
So you can't make comparisons and contrasting, just for clarification.
So I'm
I can't
listening.
compare and
This is-
contrast.
Please start our time again. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't think Smoke and Scan would like this. What do you think, Smoke and Scan? I really don't think Smoke and Scan would like it. But, okay, so here we go. So anyway, we understand, I made my point, there's a conflict of interest. Also, I want to talk about how CD 13 is asking to illuminate the City Hall to celebrate Disability Day. You know what? I'm going to vote no, and I'm here in a chair. If I can't even approach the up there, where they get to speak, where everyone else gets to speak, because I'm disabled and in a chair, then no, don't illuminate the stupid lights for me. Thank you, I don't need it. And also, if the city, thank you, and if the city can't remove, I've been here for how many months asking you to make ADA compliant the planters around L. Ron Hubbard Way and the cult of Scientology. If you can't do that in Council District 13, then don't illuminate the stupid City Hall for me. I don't need it or want it. I want to be able to access L. Ron Hubbard Way and Fountain Avenue. That's what I want. I don't care about the stupid lights. I wouldn't go downtown here at night anyway to see it. So I'm tired of it. And even with Transgender Day too. You know what the cult of Scientology did? They outed somebody who's transgender, who is a protester, to their family. To whoever. They don't have a right to do that. And then you're going to light up for a transgender, but you don't care what the cult of Scientology does to protesters. You don't care how they're treated. You know what I want to say? And maybe Smoke and Scan will agree with me this too. Instead of doing the Pledge of Allegiance, do one city under Scientology, because that's what it feels like the city is. You all bow down and kiss the feet of freaking Scientology, and we're done with it. Stop it. Public comment.
General
Guess what?
public
I'm here to talk about the cult of Scientology, a human trafficking organization. Okay, now they're doing Winter Wonderland as a way. They don't even believe in Jesus. They're doing, Winter Wonderland, Christian, Christmas. Okay, and you know what L. Ron Hubbard believed? That Jesus was, and this is in their own OT teaching, volume 8, that Jesus was an angry pedophile, and that L. Ron Hubbard was here to usher in the Antichrist. And they're using then a Christian holiday to recruit people for their human trafficking, senior and child abusing cult. I'm going to say it like it is. There's too much evidence out there. Too many people have come forward talking about how they were treated. I'm sick and tired of you guys not even being able to get them to put planters and going after protesters. Okay, I'll talk about it now. You know, the conflict of interest. The city told them they have to pull up the same roses where this person, where a protester is being, has court case against him. But the city attorney won't because there's a conflict of interest because y'all worship Scientology.
Speaker, your time's expired. Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hi, yes, Armando Munoz, and I'm going to be doing a general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, Armando Munoz. I've been working for the airport for the past 14 years. I'm here to encourage you to pass the living wage ordinance. Next week is going to be a big decision. City Council, you guys are going to decide either you prefer the working class or prefer corporations. I've heard the amendments you guys did last week, and you said that we haven't came back from COVID, right? Well, just last week, there was like at least 2.5 million travelers, and that was just within 4 days. That's not including Christmas. So if you ask me, the city of Los Angeles has gone up since COVID. We have been pretty good. We have the World Cup coming. We have the Super Bowl coming. We need to pass these living wages because the working class, the people that live in this LA, the people that actually build LA can no longer live in the city. This is the reason why we want to pass the living wage ordinance. And for you to send amendments to weaken our insurance, apparently you got way better insurance than we do. We could barely pass by. We got to make decisions between our insurance or our rent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sister Payasa. So the items I will be speaking on, the first item I'll be speaking on 24, second item I'll be speaking on 31, and third item I'll be speaking on 38, and then general public comment, please.
Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay, thank you. So 24 is a violation of the 14th Amendment, which is equal protection, reminder for everybody who doesn't know, and the 4th Amendment, which is unlawful search and seizure. 4118 makes it illegal to use the public right-of-way to sit, lay down, sleep, store, or use, or even maintain, or even placing personal property. So I can't use the public right-of-way for anything then, other than possibly just passing through. Now, as Ms. Audit was speaking, there are organizations like cults, such as the Scientologist Church, which are violating 4118. So why are they not having equal protection? Why are homeless people not having equal protection under the law when these cults are allowed to violate that law? And now, this is not great for women who are fleeing domestic violence, who maybe need to flee and have their belongings somewhere in the right-of-way while they wait for safety or some kind of
So I'm going to ask that you please move on to
now
another
I'm moving
item.
on to my next item. Please don't interrupt me. Item 31. Now, shelter conditions. Kevin De Leon dedicated a shelter in his district to his mother. He cut the ribbon to that shelter, and he was very celebrative of that shelter. Now, that shelter is, I have experienced ADA noncompliance, extreme violations of ADA noncompliance. Women's feet are bleeding because they are not allowed to use a wheelchair. There are no sanitary pads available. There is no water fountain. We are not allowed to have drinking water in that shelter. We have to ask somebody. And it's a domestic violence emergency shelter. So as somebody who fled domestic violence, I don't want to ask someone for a glass of water. I want to be able to have a working water fountain. There's also a sign that says I can't poop in the bathroom. Now, for item 38, we're going to talk about special recognition of Transgender Day of Remembrance. When I was 18, I came out as a bisexual, queer woman. I was thrown out on the street by my unapproving and abusive family, and I became a runaway homeless youth at 18. I was already a runaway homeless youth at 17, 16, 15. However, once you turn 18, things do change. That game does get a lot more deadly. So when it comes to Transgender Day of Remembrance, I hope that you consider 4118 And I hope that you consider the ADA non-compliance, because you do have somebody who is a queer woman who experienced transgender. I took testosterone for 8 years. I experienced transgender health care, and I have a lot to say about that as well. So I do hope that you consider the homeless transgender people who are suffering. Now, for my general public comment.
Go ahead, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. The secret place of the Most High. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God.
While this is
in
general
Him I will
public comment,
trust.
and we've gone through
Surely
this before,
He shall deliver thee
you
from
need
the
to
snare
tie
of
to
the
something that's
fowler,
within the
and
subject
from
matter
the noisome
jurisdiction of the city.
pestilence.
So
He shall cover
this is your
thee
last
with the
opportunity.
feathers,
Please
and
connect it
under
to
his
something that's
wings
within
shalt
the
thou
subject matter
trust. His trust
jurisdiction of the
shall be
city.
thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night,
Okay,
nor
so
for the
we've
arrow that
asked you
flieth
nicely
by
to
day,
connect it
nor
to
for the
something.
pestilence that walketh
Your time
in
has
the
expired.
darkness.
So, next speaker. Speaker, we need to move on to the next speaker. You forfeited your speaking time by refusing to comply with the rules. So, speaker, you've been warned already. This is... Off. So, Mr. President, this speaker has been warned already and is still in violation of the request. She is eligible for removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12.
This person is removed pursuant to Rule 12.
So, again, just as a reminder to everyone, while general public comment is quite broad, you still need to connect it to something that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. So, good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I would like to speak on 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35,
Okay.
36,
So,
37.
Mr. Graebner, you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Yeah, I have a
Please
really
begin
long
with the items.
agenda. It takes a while to read them all off. We have let's start off with item 23, I think it was. 23 is from Blumenfield. It's for mailers on the Cyclovia route. Hopefully no one house people are going to be displaced for this. Because I know in the past, sometimes Cyclovia, they've sweep the area. It's like a community event on house people are part of the community. Speaking of which, we have item 24, which is a 4118 motion from Bob Blumenfield. You know, what is it, 6 unhoused people dying on the streets of LA every day? But you just keep doing this. Keep putting them more. You're trying to get to 7 a day or something here? 4118 literally kills unhoused people. Let's get housing and services, not just sweeps and throwing them wherever you feel like it. We have 26, 27, and 28, which are motions from the lame duck council member Kevin De Leon, who's hiding in the back when he saw I was going to speak. So we have, we have 28, 27, I think it was stuff for Winter Wonderland. I thought he was taking away all the holiday fun as a punishment for voting him out. I thought he was doing that. Bye, Marquise. We have, but no on anything Kevin introduces. 29 is a motion from Marquise Harris Dawson, who's not presiding over the meeting currently. Reward money for snitches. No on reward money for snitches. Maybe give some reward money if we have information on when the cops shoot and kill people. We have a street banner for a school. That's a lot of money. We have lighting up City Hall for International Day of Persons with Disabilities. You know, a disabled person just mentioned that you are literally violating the ADA here with this thing here. You know, you used to not have this. This thing was added like 2 years ago. It used to not be here. It used to be that anyone could just approach the podium from the center aisle. If you had a wheelchair, you could just roll right up to the podium. But this thing was added like 2 years ago by Paul Krikorian over there. So yeah, it didn't used to be there. You literally made the chamber less accessible than it used to be. We have a motion to light up City Hall for Transgender Day of Remembrance, just a few feet away from where multiple trans people have been assaulted by the LAPD in this chamber over the last few years. So we have,
And you don't do anything for trans people. You literally do nothing. You just light up City Hall. And why don't we have you introduce some stuff so we don't have to remember as many trans people who died by violence? Maybe we can just keep them alive and have rights for trans people and
General
protections.
public comment?
All right, so general public comment. It's the last week of these guys of DJ Krikorian and the known racist Kevin De Leon. They're all going to be gone after Friday. So we have. I noticed has Isabel ever been invited to be honored? You're all just so sore losers. Usually you invite anyone who got elected in to be honored. I don't think Isabel's ever been here, has she? Has she ever been invited up to be honored for getting elected? And you had Nazarian like the next day. We hadn't even finished counting yet. But you had Nazarian here like the next day. But yeah, Kevin, you're fucking racist wherever you're hiding. And good riddance. Well, finally, Marquise, why do you keep lowering my hand every time I call in? You want to answer that? It's only me and a few others. It's only when you're running the meeting. Why is my hand getting lowered on the phone? You want to answer that?
Speaker, your time's expired. And just FYI, the council member-elect Gerardo was in council chambers here. I believe council member Hernandez invited her or honored her. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
I'm Stacy Segura-Bollinger. I'd like to speak on all items in general public comment, please.
Okay, so we have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'd respectfully ask for all of the council members, including the president, to please pay attention. I don't know who Marquise was talking to while Andrew was up here, but he wasn't listening. So I'll start with 45. This is the recess schedule, but I think we all know that this is not an exhaustive schedule of the recesses y'all take. You really get paid a lot to work very few hours compared to most workers. I think instead of salaried, y'all should have to clock in and out. We should be tracking the hours that you're working, because I think that your salaries are way too high for how much time you get off. And it's also just something that I've noticed, that usually when kids aren't in school, this body goes on recess. And think about what a luxury that is for the council members who have children, that they don't have to worry about childcare when their kids aren't in school. That's something else that the vast majority of workers in LA do not get to enjoy. So I'd encourage everyone listening to look at their extensive recess list, think about how late they start meetings, and ask yourself, do I get to be absent from work and late to work so often and still enjoy good pay and good benefits and keep my job?
Another item, please.
Okay, fine. We'll move on to item 24. Which is a 4118 expansion on Canby in Reseda. I know this area well. There's a lot of auto body shops that take up a lot of public space. In fact, in the city, cars park on sidewalks all the time. But when a human being is existing in public, this body criminalizes it. And we know from our study that 4118 is a waste of money and costs a lot, but does not solve the issue of the unhoused resident population. So I don't understand why this body is entertaining expanding that program at all. We have two different motions to light up City Hall, one for trans remembrance and one for disability. The one for disability comes from Councilmember Rahman and CD4, and Hugo Soto Martinez. I don't see them in the room, so I have to assume they're not paying attention. But we all heard from a mobility device user that what they need isn't $438 spent on lights. It's actual access to the city where they pay taxes. On the corner of Vineland and Whipple, I watched someone in a wheelchair have to turn around and completely change his route because of the way the light signals are constructed on the sidewalks there. They couldn't get their wheelchair through the narrow opening in the sidewalk. But instead of spending money to improve our infrastructure, we're virtue signaling while we go into a budget deficit. And Budget and Finance Committee Chair Bob Blumenfeld says he doesn't know why the lights cost $438. Isn't that true, Bob?
General public comment.
Remember when Nithya Raman said that she was heartbroken to watch the reputation of LA's city government suffer continued disgrace because of Kevin De Leon? She said that he was unqualified to lead. Severe ongoing harm, that's what she said was being caused by Kevin's continued presence here. But then what happened was you gave up and Paul assigned him to the committee that you run, and you told him that you were glad, and I want to thank him for showing me what you really are, because without Kevin, I might have never shown up at all. And that's a big fuck you to Kevin De Leon, fuck you to all of you for enabling him, and shout out to Smoke and Scan.
Thank you.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Constitutional protected free speech right, bitch. I didn't sign up as Herman. I signed up as Rabbi Dusty.
So please start his time. You have 3 minutes for the items
Yeah,
and
I
1 minute for general public comment.
Pumpkinhead. I heard you. Regarding the banner shit, the shit mayor has to clean up and beautify the areas before you post a banner with my big caucus on it, like a sledgehammer, to remove all the homeless chinchero that you leave in the streets. Hey, Pumpkinhead, you know the Port of Los Angeles, like Janet Hahn, smells. And we should do something about that proton shit she did to Herman, you motherfuckers. To approve under the municipal code, fuck Janet Hahn and fuck the Board of Supervisors. Oh, look at here, Mr. Dawson. Chongo Dawson, off of Hoover Street, we got a pipeline franchise. And you know what franchise pipelines means? It means you taxpayers are getting fucked, because what they're gonna do is, they're gonna frack your ass and not give you any tax breaks like they should. Let me get back on topic, moron. Regarding Mumuana 2 Rodriguez, Madam Rodriguez, public safety has been a very serious issue for us. Woof, woof, woof. And we want more protection from the shithole mayor you have that's killing us dogs.
So, Mr. Herman, I'm going to need you to specify which item you're speaking to. I honestly can't tell which item you're speaking to.
Oh, shut up. What was that, Pumpkinhead?
Which item are you speaking to?
All items and non-agenda public comment, Pumpkinhead.
Please identify it, because you seem to be bouncing around, and I honestly can't track which item
you were talking
to
Rabbi Dusty. Now you're talking to me. What's the issue here, sir? What is the issue? I'm about to continue. Thank you. Communication from the city engineer, final map, fuck the map. 43, chief legislative analyst report, fuck the analyst, and fuck dumb Biden Hunter, for the record. Item 44, in CD6, who's that? The Board of Airport Commissioners. Stop bringing the fucking fentanyl and drugs through the LAX airport. It's not yours, it's mine.
So that's not on the agenda.
It's always been mine. Yes,
so this is your
sir.
last warning. Please stick to the agenda. I'm going to move you to general public comment.
I'm on 44. Shut up, don't speak, I'm speaking.
44 does not deal with LAX.
Okay.
So can you please move him to general public comment? You've been asked politely to stick to the agenda.
10 seconds. I'm
you
going to
have
go to
1
item
minute for
number
general
1.
public comment. Go ahead.
Oh, non-agenda public comment, 42 U.S.C. 1983. We got a new DA. Is he going to indict Price? Is he going to put Price behind the black bars for a bigamy relationship between two fucking wives that he stole the money from the taxpayers? Are we going to put up with this shit, Monaco, or is it Moana number 2 cow? Because we're tired of our public safety and politics fucking us in the ass. That's right. We're tired of it. I look at Padilla, I look at Park,
and I feel like a piece of shit around them because they're so glamorous in their show-off attire. Look at over there, Mommy Obesity. She's beautiful. And stop discriminating against fat fucking people, LA. 42 U.S.C. 1983.
Speaker, your time has
Fuck
expired. Next speaker. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Yes, good DEI hire. He's an ambulance chaser. Ew. Okay, now we get to 44, the Imelda Padilla Federal Airport. Yes. Let's pan the camera over to Imelda, see if she's still wiping her nose with that perpetual cold she has every year. And you look at Van Nuys Airport, a complete, total piece of fucking shit. They should tear it down. It has a golf course next to it that's tagged. Because of Imelda Padilla, you can't hit a ball without finding it in the tagging on the walls. Right, Imelda? Yes. That's right, yes. Now we have Retard Week. What's that one? You know, disability. Oh, that's right. Yeah, like you, asshole. What? Oh, I mean like them. I'm sorry, sir. So, as we know, we honor the retarded, the mentally disturbed, you know, the voters of Los Angeles County, continuing their good work. Yes, how the fuck can you be disabled and not re-elect George Gascon as DA? I just can't understand it. So we're going to have to cancel the item this year because apparently the voters of LA County aren't all a bunch of fucking retards. Let's give them a hand. Well, yes, what a surprise. And then we have the Transgender Remembrance Week. Yes, we're going to remember all of those people who have a penis but wear a skirt but aren't here anymore. And, of course, this is Tracy Park's favorite holiday. I have videos of her dancing underneath a rainbow. Yes. Tracy, would you like to come out today? Tracy? It would be so nice if you would. It would really help all of us. No, you don't want to. Okay, then fuck you. So now we get to number one. Number one are protests. Yes, I protest everything involving Paul Martin Krikorian. I mean, has anybody in the world ever been born with a head that looks like the shape of a dickhead? I can't think of one person. What a complete, total, disgusting asshole. And then we have number two, KKK Katie the Cunt Yaroslavsky, KFC, on Citrus Avenue in Wilshire. It's a very nice area, by the way. Too bad you out there on the TV can't afford it. You have to live in the non-pretty people areas. You can only drive through the pretty people areas. That's the way Bob Blobbenbleld wants it. That's why he's changing CD3 to become gentrified.
General public comment.
And now for the public comment, we have to get Kevin to shave off that beard. How are you supposed to go to job interviews looking like a derelict? You got to shave that beard off and wear a decent suit and tie because you're unemployed. You're going to have to collect unemployment, EBT. And then how are you going to pay the mortgage? Where are you going to steal the money now? I mean, you have to be an elected official to steal the money. That's what the Supreme Court says. And then remember, December the 5th, everybody, Curran DeMille Price Jr. returns back to court to continue his prosecution. Let's give him a hand. Yes, that's right. So he hasn't given anybody up yet. You know what that means, people, with the change in administration? They might put the wife up on charges to put the pressure, to squeeze him to talk about everybody else. Finally, I want to wish everybody a good fuck you Christmas. Yes.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Defender of ants.
Okay. Welcome. You have, which items do you like to speak to?
Just public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
So the officer, when I came in here, said that the last time I was talking about the two girls that escaped from the cult of Scientology, and the police brought back to the cult of Scientology that I was making some type of criminal threat. That's a felony. I actually did 6 days, and it was a DA reject. So first off, speaking about kids escaping from Scientology is not a fucking criminal threat. You fucking idiots. That's not a fucking criminal threat. Second, there's armed fucking guards at the Church of Scientology. It's a fucking cult. I don't know why I keep calling it a fucking church. How the fuck is there a cult going on right now? I've been at gunpoint 3 fucking times at that fucking intersection that they keep fucking shutting down. And there's 250 fucking planters out there to stop me from telling you about the 2 fucking girls that tried to escape out of the cult of Scientology. Wake the fuck up. That's not a fucking criminal threat. Go fuck yourselves.
Good afternoon. I'm here for public comment. My name is Belen Valle. I came from District 14, and thank you, Kevin De Leon, for everything you do for us. Thank you. And I want your support for living wage. I work in the hotel industry, and I'm a single mother, I struggle paying my rent or my health insurance. Please, I want to you vote yes, because this amendment they had to pass. It's going to benefit for all the employees, LAX, and the hotel industry. I'm a housekeeper, and I prepare the rooms for the guests they came. A lot of mess, but we are here. Humble to ask you, please pass this. I appreciate it, and have a great day. Thank you.
So the recess schedule. Here we have an activist in his prime. Marquise Harris Dawson, who got the mantle from Herb Wesson, has continued to increase the number of days that the council will be in recess. That means decrease the amount that they meet. And it's all in line with the progressive flank's newest, greatest taste, which is less public comment, for fuck's sake. We can't stand these bastards. Well, it's unfortunate because we actually have a good deal to add, and I hear it all the time. And I stand by the people who give comments, and I'm very, very upset.
So please stick to the recess schedule. If you'd like, you can continue this during general.
No, this is the recess schedule. This is the recess schedule. I looked at it. You've increased the number of, it's gone from like 55 in 2023 to 59 in 2024. And this upcoming will be like
so your
60.
time on the items has expired. You have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
All right. Well, then I'll just take it right to the heart of the matter. I think we need the city attorney's office to come down to the principal's office for a thorough Rule 7, Rule 12 drubbing. Okay, this has now become something that the people are disgusted by. What we would like to see is the city attorney sitting quietly during a meeting and allowing people to have their time. When you start to try to line edit what people say to try to see if they're making a connection, like am I, in general comment, is this sufficiently in the jurisdiction of the, it's very, very bad. And I don't mean to embarrass you, Grote. I mean to humiliate you, not embarrass, humiliate. You must restrain yourself. And Mr. Harris Dawson, as a young progressive, I urge you to sit forward and control Mr. Grote, Falble, and Isagiri, who are all badly, badly out of line. We need to get hold of this, and there's a conflict of interest attorney ready to help us out if we need it, but we don't. We don't need any more attorneys. What we need.
Your time has expired.
Good,
Next
clean,
caller.
Go blue.
Caller.
What's up, Quan?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm just wondering where the disheveled Mr. De Leon is.
So which
I
items would you like to speak
on
to?
all items.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Grote, do you know where Kevin De Leon's Winter Wonderland is? He's getting shit-faced with Gil Cedillo at Soho House as they endlessly refer to each other as state senator. This Winter Wonderland, we can't even cop up a couple $100,000 for this, but tomorrow the council is going to be voting to move $2.4 million from redevelopment projects and community services in CD14 to bail out Kevin's staff. This is audacious. The man lost by nearly 15%, and he's raiding $2.4 million from the person that's about to take office for purely self-serving ends. This isn't your routine aiding and abetting some of y'all have engaged with this man. You're shamelessly pillaging from community benefits to lavish staffers at the 11th hour. I don't know what to. You can't act like they're not going to find a home in the city family. Look around the horseshoe. There's Cedillo staffers, Martinez staffers that found new places there or in the building. I guess CD 6, 7, 11, and 12 can only absorb so many bodies. FYI, Kevin, wherever you are, you look like shit.
Okay, so I'm going to ask that
Some
you
might even
move
use
on
the
to
word
another item.
unwell. I'll go to my general comment, bro.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Ulysses, Kevin's your neighbor. I live in your district, but I'm on the border. Like many of your constituents, I'm in CD14 every single day. Most residents don't know the exact lines. They're going to blame you for him not maintaining his district. And the new person coming in is going to be at a disadvantage. Bob, $2.4 million. If we were at a budget committee meeting looking for $2.4 million, how tight would you be getting back there? Katie, you're facing a recall. This is not going to be a good look. And Councilmember Park, I noticed that you filed to run again yesterday. First, early bird, because, let's be real, you're the most vulnerable incumbent on that horseshoe. Not a good look. I know Kevin's been a friend, but that's not a good look. Bailing out staff. You all know better, especially you, Marquise. Especially you.
Caller, your time has expired.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So that sort of tells us the score based on what we asked the Commission to do and LAWA to do and what's before us today. And we'll begin our discussion with Councilmember Padilla.
Yes, my first question is, who were the council offices that you spoke to and what community benefits did they list?
The council offices that responded to us were Council Office 2, 3, 11, and 12 responded.
Council District 11.
Council Districts 2, 3, 11, and 12 responded to our request for input.
Okay, because I was invited to that meeting. Well, my question is, then what about 6, given that this affects District 6? And what did each of those council districts say they wanted?
Your district declined in writing to provide input and told us that because there was not going to be a settlement, there was no reason to provide a list of community benefits.
Okay, what did District 2 say?
I do not have the list of all the benefits with me.
What did District 3 say?
I don't have the list of the benefits with me, council member.
Okay, so thank you for getting this conversation started off with lack of information. So my next question is, because if we're talking about the meeting where I believe Council President's office brought us together, Council District 7 was invited, and they showed up and said, we're gonna lean on District 6. Council District 12, I believe, came, and they talked about beautification on the part of the airport that was related to them. And District 2 did not show up, and District 3 did not show up. Are we talking about the same meeting here? Is that where you got your information? Council President's office, is that what we're talking about here?
I'm not sure you're asking the question to council member. You're asking the council president or
I'm
myself?
asking you. Is that the meeting we're talking about?
I did not attend a meeting. I'm not sure what meeting you're referring to. I did not attend a meeting with you, no.
Okay, so then who provided you that list of what every single council office talked about?
Our government relations staff asked each council office if they had a list of community benefits for
Who's your government relations staff? Are they here? Can they come and give us the list?
My government relations staff member is Mark Adams, and I do not know if he has a list with him now.
Where is he? Mark, do you have that list?
Mark Adams, LAWA Government Affairs. We sent emails to each council, to staff in each council office, and asked them for questions, input on what they want, what they might request in terms of community benefits in this lease. As We got response emails from council districts 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 11, and 12. There were various items that were discussed in terms of wanting to know about number of community meetings we would have in the future from Council District 2, wanting to, with Council District 3, had questions about, didn't have any specific things for this lease site, but was interested in developing impacts in the future, community benefits for in future projects. There were very few specific requests with respect to this specific lease, but wanting to make sure that things were community benefits were developed for future projects and such. That's basically trying to sum up the list I've got here.
So it sounds like they were very general. They didn't list any community benefits. Okay, what about the next office?
They were general. There wasn't a lot of specificity, that's true.
What about the other offices?
I did not receive responses from Office 1, Council District 1, Council District 5, Council District 7, 9, 10, 13, 14, or 15 to that specific email that asked for community benefits.
Okay, so I wanted to make sure for the record that we discussed that, given that that was part of Mr. Ackerman's opening statements.
Well,
that he spoke to offices and got a list of community benefits. So I'm happy to go to my second question. Were you going to respond?
What I was going to say is, what I said in my opening statement is we received responses from 4 offices, and that is exactly what happened.
He was going to give me the answer from the 4 offices. Can you give me the answer from the 4 offices?
Mr. Adams just read you the offices and the responses.
He only gave us a response from Office Council District 3.
What I said
and then
was
said
we
that the rest of
received.
the offices did not respond.
What I said was
Am I hearing things?
What I said was we received responses from 4 offices. I did not say that those offices gave us specific benefits. Some offices responded, as Mr. Adams read, that they did not have a specific list of benefits they wanted. So my statement remains the same. We received responses from those offices.
So then that's what's changed. That's what's changed since you last came to the group, correct? Is that you've spoken to the offices, but you didn't get any responses?
No, I didn't say we did not get any response. I said we spoke to 4 offices. We received
You
responses.
didn't get any
and
responses
Mr.
related
Adams
to community benefits?
And Mr. Adams just read you the responses.
Yeah, it sounds like people have general concerns. Okay. My second question is, we asked last time for written confirmation from the FAA on the specific amounts and a timeline of funding sources and grants that were under threat. Can you provide that to us today?
We have a list of grants that the airport plans to apply for in this fiscal year, and yes, we could provide that list.
But do you have in writing something that says that they are under threat because of this lease, specifically?
No, the FAA does not provide letters that threaten grants.
Okay. I've also noticed we have 2 documents. Does the clerk have them that were given to us by the Office of the City Attorney? This one's passed out? Why not? Okay, duh.
So,
my understanding,
Councilwoman, just so you know, if it's the documents provided by the city attorney's office, they're attorney-client privilege, so we should probably go into closed session if you want to talk about those.
We should go into closed session.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything else that we can discuss in open session before we stop the meeting to clear the room that are not on the documents?
We should go into closed session.
So no is the answer to the question I asked?
Well, I mean, I'm glad that we did get the party started this way, where you were all brought into the conversation as being part of this settlement to get something better, but I'm glad that the full public now sees that that actually was not the case. So yes, I'm ready to go into closed session and talk about the specifics about the settlement and the specifics about the RFP. And then we can talk in closed session about the process of what is on this settlement and who was at the table for what's being proposed.
So members, any other questions that we can see in public session before we stop and go to close? I just want to give anybody an opportunity. All right, sergeants, if we can prepare the room for closed session, we'll be in recess for 3 minutes in order to do that.
So before we make a determination on whether or not there's anything to announce from closed session, I recommend that council vote on the underlying lease for Bonsef Helenet.
All right, that item is now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
You want to be recorded as a no vote, Councilmember Padilla? All right.
So for clarification, that is 11 ayes and 2 noes.
All right. What's next?
So, Mr. President, I'd like to basically summarize what council approved in closed session since the matter is final. So, in closed session, council approved the settlement and with the following major terms. So, summary of major Bonsef Helenet settlement terms. Bonsef Helenet will 1. Release all claims. 2. Conduct enhanced education and outreach concerning the proposed improvements during the entitlement/development period of the lease. And 3. Initiate full improvements to a community viewing area upon commencement of the lease. In exchange, the city/Los Angeles World Airports, LAWA, will 1. Approve the disputed lease for 16231 Waterman Drive at the Van Nuys Airport. Regarding improvements at the site, Bonsef Helenet's improvements must comply with any then applicable Van Nuys Airport specific plan, including any specific plan that may come into existence prior to the submission of applications for entitlements. The city reserves complete and unfettered discretion to consider and adopt all mitigation measures for any proposed improvements at the site and all alternatives. LAWA will allow Bonsef to use a portion of the adjacent fire department site as temporary space during renovation for up to 5 years. LAWA will not impose sublease fees due from Bonsef Helenets or any successor and S&Es subtenants that use the premises for the same or similar purposes as Bonsef Helenet's then current businesses. For example, medical transport of children, transport of organs, entertainment and news industry usage, fire protection, and public safety. And Bonsef and Aerolease Bonsef currently hold Van Nuys Airport lease numbers VNY-8361 and VNA-8369. When those leases expire in 2041 and 2039, the LAWA will grant those entities new 5-year leases for these sites.
Can we also read into the record what we decided on closed session?
Disclosure of what we
count to be
decided
read.
in closed session.
For the vote count to be read, please.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, you're asking for the vote count for the approval of the settlement that took place in closed session?
Correct.
So the vote count for the closed session vote was 8 ayes and 5 noes.
All right.
But can you read the names, please?
Yes, council member. Councilmember Blumenfield voted no. Councilmember De Leon voted no. Councilmember Harris Dawson voted yes. Councilmember Hernandez voted yes. Councilmember Krikorian voted yes. Councilmember Lee voted yes. Councilmember McCosker voted yes. Councilmember Padilla voted no. Councilmember Price voted yes. Councilmember Rahman voted yes. Councilmember Rodriguez voted no. Councilmember Soto Martinez voted no. And Councilmember Yaroslavsky voted yes.
All right. All right. So what's next?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Members, I rise to ask that we adjourn today's meeting in memory of a legend of Los Angeles sports, Coach John Robinson, who died last month at the age of 89 at his home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is, of course, probably best known for his time as the head coach of USC, where he followed the legendary John McKay, who had brought him on board. And he went on to coach the Trojans to 5 conference titles, 4 Rose Bowl victories, and the 1978 national championship, with a overall record of 104 wins, 35 losses, and 4 ties. He then went on to coach the Los Angeles Rams before they departed Los Angeles for St. Louis. And as coach of the Rams, he took the team to the playoffs in 6 of his first 7 seasons. He was, a legend of Los Angeles sports, and even coached 2 winners of the Heisman Trophy, running backs Marcus Allen and Charles White. So those of us who are USC fans wax nostalgic about the golden days of USC football under Coach John Robinson. He is survived by his wife Beverly, his daughters Terry Medina and Lynn Sierra, his sons David and Chris, 2 stepchildren, Jennifer Bowl and Jeffrey Azell, and 10 grandchildren. May Coach John Robinson rest in peace. Fight on, Coach.
Thank you so much.